In this week's episode, I wanted to talk about something that I think a lot of producers and artists will struggle with at some point in their journey. You already clicked on this video, so you already know that I'm talking about arranging your beats, or more specifically, moving from a 4-bar or an 8-bar loop into a full song or something that more resembles a song. I've just written a really simple 8-bar loop in FL Studio, and I thought this was a perfect opportunity to jump in and talk through my process and how I approach this. Let's jump into FL Studio and I'm going to show you how to turn your loops into full arranged songs. So I'm just going to play a quick preview of the loop that I've made here, and then we'll jump into how I'd approach this. Sounding super lovely and super warm, exactly what I was going for. It is just an 8-bar loop. We can't just repeat this over and over. The loop itself is about 37 seconds long, so it is quite long. With the pieces we've got here, we can use this as the core fundamentals of the song structure. The first thing I do here is try and come up with some sort of an intro. When I was writing this guitar part here, I did have in my mind it sort of being an intro part. This isn't going to be the main lead for this song. So I think what I'll do is drag everything over 8 bars, so we've got a bit of space, and then think about how I'm going to build this intro out. So I'm going to start with my drone, and then I think maybe this piano sound. Obviously that's going to get quite old quite fast, so we need to come up with something that's going to make this a little bit more interesting. I might also bring in our chords just to add like a nice depth and a nice warmth. So let's start with that. Super simple. And then I think maybe what we'll do is bring in our intro guitar maybe halfway through, and we'll let that fade in, something like that. I might also bring that down, make it a little bit quieter than it's going to be in the main section. And then I might also cut off that final part of that guitar. It's a bit abrupt, so let's just open that up a little. Something along those lines, but then it does feel quite harsh when everything else comes in there, because we get a bass coming in, we get 2 other guitar parts, as well as all of those drums. So I also think what I might bring in here is our snare and our hat sounds. I think what I might do here is put a little bit of a radio frequency on those drums just for this intro. Yeah, let's do something like that, and then we'll automate that so that it switches off, so that it rolls off there right before. I'm going to swap the guitar so that we get the second half of the guitar rather than that intro playing twice. So we'll just do this. Do the same thing with the fade outs and the fade ins. And then it feels slightly different when that intro guitar comes in. So I think that's sounding really nice. So already there we've gone from having a 30-second loop to having a 1 minute, 1 minute 15 long section there, just by bringing in a really simple intro and then having our loop playing after it. But I think what we need here is this second half of our loop. We need to introduce another melody, and what that can do is then carry us on into like a bridge section or something like that. And I'm not sure if this needs to be the guitar melody or whether this needs to be a piano melody. For now, let's just try adding a simple piano melody into there. Maybe we'll try Black Keys and we'll try adding some bell sounds in. I think that's a really nice simple kind of counter melody to bring in, but I think I might try some different sounds to see what we can find. So let's try a Imaginary piano. Yeah, piano's sounding nice. Let's just drag those all over so they overlap slightly. But let's try some other sounds, see what we can find. Maybe let's try a simple acoustic guitar sound. No, I'm not feeling that. See what we've got in Labs. Labs has some good sounds. Like this whirly sound. A really nice start on like a simple counter melody. And what we're going to think about here is breaking it down. We've got like a 30-second sort of main section here. If I was to double this up, we'd end up with a minute long main section, which is just quite long. And I am going for something relatively sleepy. So what I think I might do is just copy over that main section, and let's think about what we're going to take out to make kind of a B section or like a bridge. This is going to be really simple. After this bridge, we'll probably go straight back into the hook there, but with some slightly different things going on to keep it interesting. So probably want to take out some of the bass and some of the drums there. Might leave the bass in for a second here. At this point, I might cut out everything but those two sounds that we've got there. And then I think after this, we'll bring in our main piano on its own. To separate this from the intro, let's make these piano chords slightly different by bumping them up a whole octave. I'm not sure that's the move. Try adding in some extra notes here. And then to help with this transition, let's bring back in maybe just the snare and the hat again. Maybe just the snare. Let's just radio frequency it one more time. I also think I might slowly introduce the ambient guitar up here also. Then let's just build a really simple outro. And there we go, just like that, we've gone from a 8-bar loop that was about 30 seconds long into a 3-minute long song. By no means complete, there's definitely more to be done here. I think what I'd probably do is record like another guitar part for the second hook, the second main section, and possibly do a little bit more work on the bridge. But really simply, we've gone from our 8-bar loop to a full song structure, and then this is a really great starting point, and you can then take it further from here to create your whole song and work on the fine tuning and the details of that song. I hope you guys have found this week's episode useful. I'm really liking the way this beat is sounding. If you think I should keep working on this one and you're enjoying the sound of it, drop a comment on this video, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video where I drop the full song and talk through what I did to finish it off and those last sort of final touches. But just in terms of building out the structure and showing you guys what I think about when I'm moving from a loop to a full song and talking through some of those processes with you guys here. I hope this has been useful, and yeah, see you in the next one.